Morning guys. We are on the way to the gym now. It's 11 o'clock actually now, so I should say good evening. We're hitting arms, should be a good workout. I'm carbed up, had some protein, and then we just slammed back some pre-workout. We had the Rise Blue Sour Straw, super yummy. I really like that one. But we woke up, I went and took care of the ducks. I didn't end up recording it because I was kind of in a little bit of rush because I had to go drop off the trailer at 9. That went great, super easy. The guy said he was going to keep it for a day, but I always give him a little extra day just in case, because I know sometimes like you're just not feeling it and it's super hot outside, or you got to go pick up the kids or something. So I always try and do at least a minimum of 2 days, just because things kind of get hectic occasionally. But hopefully that all goes smoothly. Should be picking it up tomorrow. And then after that, we don't have anything to do for like 4 days, which is awesome because I have some family in town. They got in last night. Well, they got in at 3 o'clock this morning, but they came in. So I want to spend as much time as I can with them. So that's why I knocked out as many yards as I could the previous days. But other than that, we got the gym, arms. It's going to be super sick. And then we have, I got some lunch with some family. Celebrating my fiance's birthday, so kind of a rough day because it's just hard. So but it is what it is. You gotta still celebrate him. You can't just you don't want to forget about him, but then it's hard celebrating at the same time. So don't fall, guys. Hold on, I'm not that boring, I promise. But so those days are always really tricky, and because you kind of get in your head and you want to just have a good time, but then you're like, oh yeah, that's why we're all here. And then you're like, well wait, there's food. And but hopefully it all goes pretty good. Should. But they, my family who came in, they have a dog. His name is Jax. I'll pop up a photo over here. He's a very, 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 very good boy. He's super cute. He's 9, but he doesn't look like it. He's a very good boy. Him and my pit bull, they were playing and running around in the backyard, and then the little wiener dog ran out there and started chasing him, and then they all started chasing her. It was like Tom and Jerry outside, where you have like Tom is chasing Jerry, and then you have, I can't remember the big old like dog's name, but then he's chasing Tom. It's exactly what it looked like. But hopefully the workout goes good. We're gonna go knock that out, and then when we're driving, oh no, I have to sneeze. Pardon me for a second. Thank you. So we're gonna go hit arms, and then on the way home, I figured we could have a little chit chat because today's a rough day, kind of in my head a lot because I miss her so much, and it just stinks not being able to see her. But I figured we'd talk a little bit about just like little like mental tips and tricks that you could do for maybe if you're going through the same thing, because life sucks, dude. I know it does, and there's a lot of stuff that can eat you up really quickly. So while we're working out, I'll try and brew on maybe 3 or 5 things, and then we can kind of talk about them on the way home and kind of just figure things out together. So I'll see you guys in the gym. All right, buddy, we're all done at the gym. Had a super sick workout. That pump is absolutely amazing. If you're looking for an arm workout, give that a shot. It is unbelievably nice. The pump you get, you feel like SpongeBob with the inflatable arms. Just, but that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk a little bit about mental health. And I know. Blah. No one really cares. No one likes talking about it. But I do, right? Because for those of you who might not know, I lost my fiance in a car accident a year ago to a drunk driver, 3 weeks after I proposed to her. And that was one of the biggest kicks in the nuts I've ever received. And it still bothers me, right? And I don't ever want someone going through a hard time to ever feel like they're alone, because I felt like that for a very long time. And I hope the camera angle is good. My phone bumped a little bit. Hopefully that's better. But I don't want anyone going through a hard time to feel like they're alone and that no one listens to them and no one, knows what they're going through. Because I might not know exactly what you're going through, but I do know that when you're in a hard time, you just need a little bit of just a little push, and you might just kind of need to just soundboard off people and see maybe what they did to help try and get out of, what they're going through. For example, I lost my fiance, right? And then I think it was like 3 months later, my buddy lost his brother, right? And then my other buddy lost his best friend. And we all kind of just bounced ideas off each other. That was very detrimental to every single one of us, and life finds a way to kick you in the nuts regardless of how good you're doing, and I've found that the three biggest things that I started working on that really benefited me is I needed to find something that benefited me mentally. So the gym, making these videos, going outside, going for walks and stuff, getting sunlight, getting fresh air, that helped me a lot. And just talking like this, I feel like, because I was keeping everything so bottled up and I wasn't talking to anyone because I was just scared of what people were going to think of me. But then you got to think about it and be like, fuck it, you're allowed to grieve how you want to grieve, right? And you can never let anyone tell you how to go about something. When you go through something as traumatic, like losing a spouse or losing a loved one, or, losing your kids or losing, anything, going through something like that, it's traumatic, and everyone reacts to things differently. And it's very important to know that, and it's hard to try and cope with certain things. So just finding outlets is extremely important, So I found that, doing those things for mentally really helped. And then you have to find a way, or I found a way that benefiting myself anyway physically really helped. Because, when you're in shape and you feel good and you're able to move and you're able to do things, you feel really good mentally. And that's important. And those really tie together. So I started doing the gym. I started doing the lawn care. I started doing the junk removal. And just being outside and doing stuff and breaking a sweat and getting after things and problem solving real life problems that, don't involve emotions, like fixing a flat tire or, breaking a table and trying to fit it into the trailer. Just mental little problems really help, and it helps keep your brain engaged. Because I don't know about you, ever since I graduated, I feel like I got jello for a brain. So those tiny little real world problems genuinely helped a lot. And then lastly, financially, you need money. I don't care what anyone else says when they go, oh, money doesn't buy happiness. You always hear that from rich people. And I don't know about you, but they seem pretty freaking happy. And I also don't know about you, but I'm extremely sad now. I don't know about you, but I would much rather be sad and depressed on a yacht in the Maldives than where I'm at right now. But so I started doing the lawn care and the junk removal, and then doing oh my gosh, little side jobs and stuff like that. And those really help me, because when you're doing better financially, you're feeling way better mentally, because you're not stressing about making ends meet. You're not stressing about, what meals, you're going to have to freaking make. Are you going to be eating ramen for the next year and a half? Or are you going to be able to start eating a little bit more steak? And once you start I'm a minion. Hello? Why am I like this? Once you start benefiting yourself financially, then you feel a lot better mentally. And when you feel a lot better mentally, you're a lot more inclined to start doing stuff physically. And I feel like all three of those really intertwine, and I cannot express it enough. It's just, if you can start attacking all three of those, just little steps at a time. For example, physically, if you want to start eating better and looking better, in the mirror, you don't have to instantly start eating clean and throwing back a gallon of water a day and tracking your calories and hitting the gym every single day and hitting your cardio and doing all that. Eventually you'll get there, right? But you have to start somewhere. So whether, if you want to get there, maybe you're not eating the best, but you want to start tracking your water, and you start, drinking a gallon of water every single day for a week, right? And you're like, okay, that was pretty easy. What else can we do? And then you're like, all right, well, I've been having 3 sodas a day. Let's just cut it back to 2. And then you do that for a week. And you're like, you know what? 2 sodas, I don't really see the reason to need them anymore. What if I just do no sodas, and we keep throwing back the water? And then you just keep compiling everything, and then you'll get there, right? But you have to start. You can't build a house without excavating, I mean, without clearing out the land. And you get the idea. I don't know a whole bunch about building a house, but that's about, you need a clean slate to start. But you have the plot of land, right, with all the trees and all the rocks and everything's in the way, and you don't look at it and go, well, how am I gonna get the house here? You go, okay, well, we need to clear all this off. Okay, well, that's all gone. All right, well, we need to flatten it all out. All right, it's flattened out. All right, let's get the foundation, and we got the foundation, and let's put up the framing. And then you build from there. You have to start somewhere, right? And then mentally, just doing little things. I'm not saying every day is going to be perfect. I still have absolutely terrible days. Today really sucks. That's why I'm making this video, because it helps benefit me, and then also going to the gym. That's a way to physically, exert yourself without beating the snot out of a kid. I don't know why that was the first thing that popped in my head, but that's a really big way that I've used to kind of blow off some steam. Or going fishing. That helps me mentally. I just haven't been able to go in a very long time because I've been super freaking busy, but, and then, financially, just doing something, doing side jobs or going to work or just doing, something online like Etsy or bake or just anything to make a little bit of extra money, because you need it, I promise. But I don't know. It's all of that sounded really good in my head, and then the second I started talking, I'm just like, man, I hope that made sense. But I know what it was like, I still do, to just feel like you're fucked, and you're just like, wow, nothing's going my way, everything sucks, no one's there for me, no one understands what I'm going through, and everything's just, on a downward spiral, and it sucks, because, I talked to her a lot about everything, and we had everything all figured out, and I had every little game plan in line, and then it was gone, and you're like, oh shit, someone just stole my deck of cards that I just spent 4 years calmly putting together and stacking with her, and then someone just took it. So now you got a new deck, and now you're trying to get everything back in line, and it's frustrating, it's daunting, it's extremely scary, and you're gonna feel beaten down, you're gonna feel worn down, but you just cannot give up, because there's no other option. You either have to figure it out and make it happen, or you have to figure it out and make it happen. You have to get to that finish line, and you do not have a choice, and you're not alone, dude. I promise you. I'm here for you. There's billions of other people on this planet going through hard times right now, and you're never truly alone, regardless of how much you tell yourself you are. I told myself that for over a year, and then the second I started blowing off steam and just talking in videos like this, there was dozens of people messaging me saying, hey, you really helped me. Hey, I really liked your videos. Hey, I was going through this and that helped me. Or hey, I had the exact same thing happen to me. Your videos really helped me. And that makes me want to burst out in tears, because I touched someone, pause, and they took enough from my video to be like, hey, that helped me. And that's the whole reason why I started making these videos, was in hopes to kind of just relate to people. I'm nowhere near where I want to be with my goals. I want to be able to retire my parents. I want to have my dream house. I want to have land. I want to have a ton of cars. I want to be able to help my family and her family and everyone around me financially, physically, and mentally, because I know what it's like to hit that rock bottom, and I don't want anyone else to suffer with that, but you have to start somewhere, and that's why I started making these videos now, was in hopes to relate to people and be like, hey, here's where I'm at, here's where I want to be, and hopefully we can figure it out together. I don't know. I hope all that sounded really cool. Today's a rough day, and I just wanted to kind of hopefully help bring a little smile to someone else. So I'm going to go inside, play with some puppies, and I'll see you guys probably tomorrow, honestly. I think we're just going to kind of hang out, go have some lunch, and then kind of just hang out at the house. I really need to play some Minecraft, and I actually think that my family that is here, they're gone. Fuck, lunch is in 30 minutes. All right, never mind. We'll play tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.